This is the Rangers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Texas Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Rangers scored some runs, and they even had leads of 1-0, 3-0, and 4-2. 4 huge runs. The only problem is they gave up 10 and ended up losing to the White Sox yet again by the final of 10-5, the fourth time this season that the Rangers have given up double digits. And the season-high losing streak is now at 6 in a row. Here we go. Welcome into the Rangers POSTCAST, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed. That is where you'll find the great work of Bryce Patrick every single day. But today, another tough one for the Rangers. They get the lead. They score 3. They go up 4-2. And you're thinking, okay, there's no way they can lose this game. Can't lose this game with a 5-game losing streak. But they did. And they go down by the final of 10-5. That would be the final in a long game with a long ending and a long day for the Rangers.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, this one was ugly. I think one of the worst this season, only because we've seen the Rangers have bad games, but to see them jump out, and I think they were 20-8 coming into this game when they scored first. To see them jump out and get leads, and to see Jack Leiter kind of grind the way that he did today on a day that he did not have feel for his curve or his changeup until really late, but early on it was a real struggle for young Jack Leiter, and still he found a way to keep them in the game. Found a way to get outs when he needed to without giving up the big hit. And this team just, I told you, I know we've been talking about how great the starting pitching has been, and it has been, but this offense has been so bad. I mean, the only offense worse is the Rockies, and this offense has been so bad. I mean, there's no other way. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So bad that it is, again, it's carried over like a domino effect. And I told you the problem is when you get this bad, it cracks and it seeps through and gets to other parts of the team, and it just gets everybody in a funk. And the only thing I'll say before we get into the specifics, I'm not gonna go over every run and do all that. We don't need to do that. We'll get the highlights, but you guys know what happened. But the only thing I can say is, I mean, a couple of things. All right, number one, if you're Chris Young and you're Bruce Bochy and you're the front office, okay, I don't care what you say to the media. I don't care what you tell me. The bottom line is behind the scenes, when you guys get together, when they get together, they have to make a decision, and they have to say, okay, what is best for our ball club? Okay, who do we want to keep? Who do we feel like is going to give us the best chance to win? And how do we put the best team possible on the field? Okay. And they have to make some decisions. And what I mean by that is they need to look at this roster right now, and they need to say, okay, is this guy just in a really bad funk, and we just need to give him a little bit more time to let him play through it and hope that he turns it around? in the second half, or do we need to move on and go in a different direction? So that's one. The other thing too is, it's still, even though it's tomorrow is going to be the 1/3 mark of the season, it's still a little early. The rumors and everything, teams are still not ready yet. It's too early for teams to panic or to start fire sales or anything like that. So, as much as Chris Young and the staff may be looking at certain guys, still a little bit early for that. There will be a time for that, and there will be opportunities. But in the meantime, it's about options and what's available, like we've said. But again, I think more importantly, Young and Bochy, they need to decide, okay, who do we think is just in a really, really, really bad funk, and we believe they're going to turn it around, or who do we have to say, okay, you know what, sorry, we're done. So I don't know the answer to that question. Now, that's one side of the coin. The other big takeaway for me is this, and kind of goes in line of what Bryce, the positive podcast that Bryce did on Friday. I mean, one way to look at it is the Rangers can't be this bad the entire season. I mean, I just, as bad as it's been, they can only go up. I know we said that earlier, thought they were, but they crashed again. But at some point, they're gonna bounce back and they're gonna get hot, and everybody's gonna be able to kind of get their numbers and their norm, right? And so I think, the thing right now is you just have to, let this play out. Let everybody on the outside kind of kick dirt on the Rangers. Let everybody say they're done, that their season is over, and let everybody write the obituaries. And then, at some point, hopefully in the second half, very quietly, when nobody cares or nobody's paying attention, this team will be able to get hot and get on a run, and maybe, get a good bounce back and a good second wind, and, make a run. I mean, that's my glass half full scenario. But I mean, there's no way to spin it. I mean, it is really, really bad right now, period. All right, as for this one today,
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
All right, well, really quickly, I want to hear from you via the comment crew. I mean, look, the Rangers scored first. They got a run in the top of the first. Josh Smith, the RBI double to give the Rangers the early 1-0 lead. Top of the fourth, Marcus Semien got a sac fly. Good to see him drive the ball in the outfield with a productive out. Didn't strike out there. That was good. And then Haggerty, that play, fly ball to left field, and Palacios dropped it. Again, I'm not trying to be old man guy, but I mean, these guys have to, I think, organizations have to kind of go back to teaching these guys how to catch instead of just trying to hot dog everything with one glove. And he, looked like he was having trouble with it in the sun. But again, we're seeing that a lot. So 3-0 Rangers. You're thinking, okay, here, this is their day. The streak is over. Unfortunately, though, in the bottom of the fourth, you could tell Palacios was mad. I mean, he was embarrassed that he dropped that ball, and he was fired up when he went to the plate. And what did he do? He hit a 2-run homer to right field. That made it 3-2. Rangers they come back in the top of the fifth, get one back to go up 4-2, and you're thinking, okay, 4-2, late in the game, Jack Leiter grinded his way, got out of the fifth, and you're thinking, okay, this is their time now, to let the bullpen come in and hopefully get some more runs against the White Sox bullpen. And it just did not work out that way. The turning point was obviously the sixth inning when the White Sox exploded in the bottom of the sixth for 6 runs. It's like sixes are wild, and I'm not gonna say the other way because I don't want to give any credence to that. But a lot of sixes there, and needless to say, that whole inning started off with the collision between Haggerty and Wyatt, and I kind of saw it look like Wyatt realized, I got to get out of the way here, and it was too late, and he ended up crashing. But unfortunately, these guys haven't played together a ton. The center fielder though should, Wyatt's got to know, but Wyatt, again, everybody is trying so hard to do everything because the team is losing and playing so bad, and that was it. Good to see Adolis get the home run. Seems like it's been a while for him and for the team. Got a late home run, but it was all for naught. The Rangers fall 10-5. All right, quick come out. When we come back, want to hear from you via the comment crew. This is the Rangers POSTCAST. All right, well, as you know, the NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there has never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. And here's a cool thing. If you got a read on somebody who's heating up in the game, you can back it up with the same-game parlay. And again, $200 in bonus bets can add to that excitement if your first $5 bet hits. So if you're new to FanDuel, right now is the perfect time to sign up. It's really easy. You head to FanDuel.com, place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. That's simple. So make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Okay, welcome back to the Rangers POSTCAST. The Rangers fall again. 6 in a row. They fall to the White Sox by the final of 10-5. A couple of updates really quick before I get to your comments. Corey Seager took batting practice today. Everything's going really good. Bruce Bochy said that looks like he'll probably be back next weekend when the Rangers host the Cardinals, maybe before then, if everything goes well. We're talking about moves and trades. I'll tell you what, bringing back Corey Seager will be like a trade. He's that good, and as you guys know, that impactful in the lineup. So getting him back will help immensely, for sure. Let's just hope and pray that he doesn't re-aggravate it and get hurt again. And then Evan Carter, apparently they caught his quad issue like right before it got really bad. So good news is he's feeling good, ramping it up a little bit, and looks like maybe for Evan Carter, next weekend, he might begin a rehab assignment. So a couple of little positive notes on a really bad day today for the Rangers. All right, let's get to your comments. Texas Hobby Ben starting us off. And again, my apologies for the delay last night. Texas Hobby Ben says, my tiny heart can't take no more. Yeah, I'm with you. This one was really tough. Noah Day says something is just not clicking. I think Veely's job is in jeopardy. Yeah, I think, I was thinking about this. Bruce is cool, and they're trying to kind of cultivate a championship caliber, a championship culture from 2023. But I mean, at some point, I know they've already made some moves. I know they traded Leote, but today might have been a good day, for a good old fashioned locker room tirade, or knocking some food on the clubhouse floor, something like that. Because I mean, the blown leads, the walks. I mean, the Rangers walked 8 today, and just the miscues in the field. I mean, it was just it just did not look good today. And I think at some point, the players themselves, and we've talked about this before throughout the season, they have to get mad too. I mean, they have to kind of get to a bottom within themselves where they say, okay, that's it. We're not going to lose. I mean, somebody needs to get angry and say, hey, we're done. We're not going to keep losing like this. We're not going to keep losing these games. Like, get your head out and let's go. And let's get out here tomorrow, and we're not going to lose. We're going to win. Brent Workman says, I hate to say it, but I think it's time to move on from Bruce Bochy. Paul Wilson, it's like you predicted. The lack of offense improved today has eroded the other parts of the team. I hate this. Noah Day says, I really don't think Bochy's the problem. I don't either, and I'm not trying to be a homer. I think Bruce is I think he's a great manager. At the end of the day, though, it's a player's game, and I think right now the pressure, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. Baseball, of all the sports, it's just so weird when you're expected to not only win, but when you're expected to win big, it's weird. It's so easy to kind of fly under the radar with no pressure at all. And this team has just collapsed under the pressure. But maybe, at some point that pressure is going to pop, and hopefully this team will be able to just relax and start playing like we know they're capable of playing. But they're not there yet, obviously. Train Guy says, I honestly got really mad when Adolis hit that bomb. We needed that, his at bat before. Yeah, absolutely. And before that, yeah, no doubt about it. Mike says this was some bull. Yeah. James Eustace says, looks like the dominoes are starting to fall. You said they would. Losing is just bad. I mean, period. It's just, and usually, I always say a bad bullpen, nothing kills a team faster than a bad bullpen. Like when you have, the offense and the starting pitching, and then you have the bad bullpen and they blow leads and you lose games because of your bullpen. That nothing kills a team faster. But again, like we're saying, and I'm again, there's no delight. I'm not taking any joy or happiness of being critical. I'm not trying to be critical or mean or nasty. But this funk has been so bad, and right out of the gate for the most part, with the exception of a couple little stretches. This is what they are right now, and it's just tough to watch. I mean, the other saving grace is, thankfully, the Mariners lost today in Houston 2-1, so nobody's going to run away with the AL West. So the only kind of the real silver lining right now is you can say, okay, well, hopefully the Rangers are getting all of their losing done now, and that they can only get better at some point here. That's what you got to hold on to until we get into June and near the break, and when players become available, we'll see what happens. Mother Pig says this team is quickly becoming irrelevant in 2025. This can't be fun for Bochy. I don't see him coming back next year. Yeah, I thought about that too. This is Bruce Bochy and his teams. Usually, it's weird. They're usually kind of the opposite of. Usually, they may not have all the talent or the flash and splash on paper, but usually Bruce Bochy teams find a way to grind, and he's always been able to really get the most and squeeze the most out of his teams where they almost overachieve, right? Whereas this season, I mean, last year you can say, okay, injuries, World Series hangover. This team, though, it's been the opposite. They have completely underachieved. I mean, across the board, offensively, on a team where, we've talked about how great, this historically great this Rangers rotation has been. So it's wild. KMD says letting Will Venable walk for 1 to 2 years of Bochy was not a good choice. Venable has those guys playing hard no matter score or record. Yeah, you know what though? Honestly, if Boch were to walk away, I think if they offered Venable the job to come back, he'd be there yesterday. Noah Day says, I don't want to give up on this team. I still believe in the team. They may not look like a winning team right now, but I believe they are one. They're going to figure it out. They have to figure it out. Yeah, we just got to hold on to that, right? Brent says, expanding on my Bochy comment, we just have no fight. I think that goes back to Boch. Maybe we don't have any leadership on the team. Well, I mean, Corey is kind of the to me, the leader. I mean, the pitchers are leaders, right? They're doing their thing, but they can't, all they can do is keep giving the offense a chance to win these games, and they're not doing it, I mean, and so when you look at that lineup, I mean, Seager is the guy, and everybody else has been kind of hot and cold. And so I think if he can come back and stay healthy and be the Seager that we know, I think that will help tremendously. I mean, just his presence takes some of that pressure off, 100%. Frank Diaz, a couple of comments. Need to turn over the old vets. This year will not lead to anything. Trade and rejuvenate. Bad at bats, non-productive outs, strikeouts are far too common. Swolger X says this feels like the Rockies series last year. Everything went downhill from there last season. John Crabtree, good to have you back, John. It's sad how bad they suck. Can't even beat the lousy White Sox. And Dead Op says, realistically, is it time to sell? It's not so much selling. For me anyway. I mean, you're not going to give your young, promising players, but I think there are some veterans on the team that they have to decide. Are they just in a horrific funk, or are they done? And so that's the unknown. And again, we keep saying it. Every series now, every game is now huge, and so you have Patrick Corbin on the mound tomorrow. You hope that he can stop the bleeding, give you a solid start, get the win, salvage the finale, come back home to take on the Blue Jays and the Cardinals, and just try to get this thing turned around. One game at a time, one at bat at a time, and hopefully, like I said, some of the guys will kind of get sick and tired of losing, sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's all we can do. And until something changes on the outside, it's up to them, and they got to get it going, period. And last one, Brent Workman says, is it time to DH Seager and start Smith at short just to keep Seager healthy? Well, I think we'll probably see that, maybe not every day. The problem is Corey is so good defensively, but I would not be surprised if they tried to ease him back here, at least initially, until they feel like they're in the clear and it doesn't flare up or he feels good for more than just a week or a couple of games. All right, that's going to do it for me today. I'm way over, but I will be back with you tomorrow. Hey, thank you guys. Love your support, love your comments and your input. Love going through this with you every single game. Thank you. Hopefully they'll avoid the sweep, not only for the series, but the road trip tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll do it again tomorrow. The final today, Rangers lose again. They fall to the White Sox 10-5. This has been the Rangers Postcast.